Answer me something.
Didn't think you were awake.
Would you stop to look in if you did?
Is that your question?
No. You and Blair got married.
That's not a question.
It's coming. You married because you obviously loved each other. Star's the evidence of that. So why is it like pulling teeth for you to so much as admit that you have feelings for Blair, let alone admit how important they still are to you?
It's too bad you weren't asleep.
I'm serious, Todd. I want an answer.
Look, the last thing I need right now is the 3rd degree from some horizontal ambulance chaser.
Oh, that's your response to every question, no matter what. You don't need anything from anyone. Well, I don't buy that for a second, Todd.
Have a nice night.
You practically had a meltdown today when Blair told you she was quitting her job at the Sun. I wouldn't exactly call that the hallmark of detachment.
What do you want from me?
Like I said, I want an answer. Why are you so afraid to own up to what's inside you? Is it because someone might find out that you're actually human after all?
Oh, you don't get this package. The sun setting over the ocean.
You don't get it most places. Do you miss it?
Yeah. And no. I mean, it's beautiful. But when I was a kid, it didn't matter, really. I mean, the beach was a place I felt safe.
How so?
No matter how irrational my mom got, it could never stop the waves or the sun setting over them. I was only 9, but I would swim out to the surf. And as long as I was there, I had no mother. And I had no troubles. Just the sound of the salt air and the churning. No. I don't miss that part. Not the memories.
It wasn't easy being Melinda's daughter.
No.
How do you feel about her returning to Landview?
Scared.
Scared she's going to say yes, or scared she's going to say no?
Both. I'm as jumbled up as those waves out there. Meeting my mother after all this time, you know, remembering how she used to be. But seeing her as she is now, you know, so much better. I don't really know what to think.
Well, I think you should do what you used to do when you were 9 years old.
What?
Let's go for a swim.
Oh.
Leave all your problems on the shore. Only this time, you won't be alone.
Well, I like the sound of that.
All right.
You got a deal. Oh. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna race you to the water.
Okay.
Let's go! Woo!
What a great kitchen.
Oh, yeah, but there's something in it that I wanted to show you. What would you call this color?
Olive green.
You're no fun.
It's olive oil, isn't it?
Yeah, but see how the light makes it glow? See, when the sun hits the olive leaves right after a rainstorm, this is the exact shade. I know, I saw it. I also saw this oil when it was still olives. In fact, I helped harvest them.
In Italy.
Yeah, just before I came back. See, I was traveling around the country trying to just kind of say goodbye, and I ended up on this tiny farm in Monteriggioni in the Chianti district.
And they had an olive grove.
Yeah, for the last 2,000 years. The farm was actually started by Roman legionnaires. You ought to have seen these trees. They were all bent, gnarled, every single one totally unique. And the olives, they were the size of plums.
When can we go?
Oh, in October. Right when the harvest comes in. Oh, are you good with a stick? Because that's what they used to knock those olives off the trees with.
They hired you?
Well, I volunteered, but they paid me anyway. In gold. Liquid green gold.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't care for it much, huh?
I feel like I'm eating Italy.
Oh, it's the best she has to offer.
You have spectacular taste in olive oil.
That and everything else.
Vicky, I'm so sorry to pull you away from your guests.
Ah, well, if you're not too overwrought, perhaps you could tell me why you pulled me away from them.
Because I need to see Mel. I have to talk with him. I'm afraid it's very important. I must speak with him. With Mel.
I thought I heard your voice.
And your name, no doubt.
Is something wrong?
It's just the thought of you meeting Joe here tonight for the first time. Like this.
Like this. By that, I presume you mean without you around to monitor whatever he and I might say to one another about his former and my current flame, Dorian Lord.
After you left the house, I had time to think about it, and I just feel that it's a potentially very awkward situation.
It's all right. I think I'll be able to handle whatever comes my way.
Now, you won't have to.
You weren't invited.
That's one of Vicky's favorite oversights, which I have now corrected. I'll be charming incarnate, I promise you.
Not 2 hours ago, I offered to call Vicky and ask if you could come. You nixed the idea, said you weren't about to beg for an invitation.
And now I won't have to. Anyway, this is a moot point. I'm already here, Mel. And if Vicky is the beneficent doyenne she advertises herself to be, she'll absolutely insist that I join the party.
Dorian, I'm so sorry. You can't stay.
I can't stay.
Well, I shouldn't think you would want to. With a house full of Hayeses, combined with Joe's homecoming, well, that seems to be the sort of ticklish situation that you would do anything to avoid.
You're incorrect, which is not unusual. But thank you so much for asking me. I would be delighted to stay. Oh, hello, Mary.
I'm sorry, Skipper.
No, please. Never apologize for Dorian. You'd be left with no time for anything else.
You're a damn good sport.
No, I'm not. No, I just know Dorian.
Well, 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 if it isn't Madame Melidor, what a surprise.
Hello, Clint. And Jessica.
Hi, I didn't know you were coming.
Voila.
It's nice to see you, Dorian. It's so refreshing when someone crashes a party.
I hate to disillusion you, Mary, but I am not crashing this party. Vicky invited me. I stopped by because I had to speak to Mel, and she absolutely begged me to stay.
You know, that is a terrific drink you've whipped up, Jessica. What's in it?
Cranberry juice and ice.
Uh-huh. Marvelous. Why don't I offer my friend a cup?
This was definitely not part of my original plan. I do hope you don't mind.
Not a bit. I like Dorian. She's full of energy, not to mention chutzpah. And she's a godsend for Mel.
Oh, no, this is Dorian you're talking about, right?
Why, do you think I'm off the mark?
Let's just say you're very generous.
Thank you, but one of the first things any sex therapist learns is to abstain from judgment. And I find it comes in very handy in private life, too.
Something wrong?
I was just wondering whatever became of Dorothy.
And where is the guest of honor?
Be my guest. Manja.
Grazie. Oh, it's so good. And I can't get over this kitchen. I mean, it's a real kitchen. Where I grew up in the D.C. area, our kitchen wasn't this grand, but it was always hopping, you know. You'd think it was the only room in the house for all the time we spent at that table. And, oh, the smells.
Well, who was the cook?
My mom, she could make anything. But she had a passion for Italian. And she could make this incredible soup with this day-old bread.
Aquacata. Yeah, it's literally cooked water. I mean, there was a Tuscan peasant zuppa.
I can't believe you've heard of it.
Well, yeah, I make it all the time. No, that's not true, because bread usually doesn't make it to day oldness when I'm around.
I wish she taught me how to make it.
Well, what was stopping her?
She died.
I'm sorry.
Our kitchen's never been the same.
Well, not that I could take the place of your mom, you know, and her giving it to you, but I could teach you how to make aquacata.
Really?
Well, sure. Yeah, but I do want to warn you that cooking with me can get a little confusing, because I'm not really into standard measurements. See, instead of cup, tablespoon, and pound, I'm more likely to say handful, dollop, and thing.
Thing?
Well, yeah. You know, add a thing of tomato paste.
Well, if you can wing it like that, you must be a pretty good cook yourself.
Pretty good. Here, tell you what. Start slicing, and I'll peel the garlic.
We're gonna make soup?
Bruschetta. All right, we'll use a little bit of this. We'll see who the pretty good cook is.
Whoa! I could have stayed in there for hours.
Yeah, right.
I could if you were with me.
Oh, because when you ran out of gas, I could tow you in.
To mesmerize me. You are an incredible swimmer. You're so at home in the waves, like a golden dolphin.
I like the water. Oh, except when you get out, it's totally cold. I'm freezing.
Oh, maybe I can warm you up.
Oh, thank you.
All my children. I'm sorry.
No. I wanted you to kiss me.
You did?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it ever since we played soccer at the community center. And I knew this was going to happen again, you know. And even though it was as lovely as I thought it would be,
You what?
I wasn't ready for it. And I guess I'm not.
Well, that's understandable, given the situation.
Yeah. We're on a beach in California at sunset. How much more perfect can it get?
Well, the only reason we're in California is to visit your mother, who may or may not decide, after years apart from you, to leave the institution she's in and join you in Landview. I mean, waiting for that answer is very stressful. Or a distraction, at least.
It is kind of heavy.
You do want Linda to come home.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, when I saw my mother today, just the idea of it, you know, I would love to get to know her again. Especially since she is 1,000,000% better. You know, plus, it would be great for her to get a chance to let go of all the guilt she's been hanging on to, you know, over the fact that she hurt me so much when I was a kid. But I don't know. I don't know. She hasn't ever been in the real world. She's fragile. What if something gets to her and she just flips out?
Well, she won't, as long as she takes the medication. I mean, Dr. Angel seemed very sure of that. But I understand how charged this topic is for you, and I mean, you don't need to worry. There won't be any pressure from this quarter. I don't want to push anything onto you, even if you did see it coming.
Thank you. I am pretty charged up about it. But honestly, Ian, my mother isn't the only reason I put the brakes on just now.
Would one of those reasons be something to do with Joey Buchanan?
What? I'm doing it right.
Well, no kidding. It's just not every day that you find a Madonna who can see tomatoes. So, that woman over at the Human Services my mom set you up with ended up hiring you.
Yeah, Mrs. Place. Actually, the job at the free clinic is only part of it. I'm going to be on call for all the other city agencies also.
There's a tall order.
Well, social work is nothing but tall orders, if you ask me. Not only do you deal with, neediest people imaginable, but you deal with bureaucracies that half the time are bigger obstacles to progress than poverty and disease.
Why do you do it?
Well, it's kind of like seeding tomatoes. If you want the bruschetta to turn out right, it's got to be done.
It takes a lot of guts and heart and extra thick skin. But not you're seeding the job.
Well, my job would be a lot easier if I could develop some emotional calluses.
Except that's probably what makes you so terrific at what you do. Because you actually allow yourself to be touched by people who ran out of luck and hope.
How do you know I'm terrific?
Well, I could tell by your tomato technique. Molto serio. Very serious.
Yeah, I guess I do tend to throw myself into my work.
Well, yes. Yes, you sure do. Look, if you want to take those seeds home with you, just ask me for a container. You don't have to wear them home on your shirt.
Oh, no. Typical.
Here, try this. There you go.
Whoa.
Got it? All right.
Got it. Ugh, God.
Oh, it didn't work, huh? Try this. You can feel free to slip that on, if you want.
Here.
Oh, I will totally ignore the presence of a half-naked woman in the kitchen with me.
Look, I'm not in the mood to be playing 20 questions, let alone 20 answers.
All I want is one.
Boy, when you get on something, you just don't let go, do you?
I'm in good company there.
Look, I know that it bugged you that I lost it when Blair left today. But that's no reason for you to be lying in the dark, obsessing about it.
Isn't that what you do?
No. What happened today is history. Blair is history. I won't lose it like that again. You'll see.
Would you sit down for a second?
What, you gonna tell me a story?
No, I am tired of stories. I'm not mad that you still care about Blair. In fact, it's reassuring. It lets me know that you really are human.
Yeah, wait until the next full moon.
Does every word out of your mouth always have to be negative? Do you know that you are not genetically incapable of being happy?
Well, being human is one thing. Being happy is pushing it. Besides, what does it matter to you?
It matters to me because when you walk around in a cold rage, everyone around you gets frostbite, especially me. You are damned hard to live with.
Well, I would think that the $5 million that I'm giving you ought to make it a little easier.
It's just a waste.
What, the money's a waste?
No, your attitude. You act like you don't deserve to be happy, and that does bug me. Because I happen to like you, you jerk.
Don't.
Oh, it's wonderful when you get warm and fuzzy like that.
Look, I'm not kidding around, okay? Liking me is stupid. It's like playing golf in a lightning storm.
That's probably true, since you're roughly as sociable as a wounded buffalo most of the time. But you've also got the ultimate irreverent sense of humor. You're a wizard with kids and animals, and you're smart as hell. I just like that. Ergo, I like you.
You don't know me.
Well, whose fault is that?
Look, we were just supposed to get married, okay? Nobody said anything about liking one another.
Oh, well, sorry to disappoint you.
Whatever.
Where are you going?
I'm tired of this blabbing.
We're in the middle of a conversation.
No, we weren't. And the next time I want analysis, I will call a shrink.
Don't you walk out on me. I cannot stand that. Ugh.
Why's that? Because that's what your mother did?
Why do you say that?
Well, Mama Delgado did that to little Taya, isn't that right?
Not my mother.
Your mother got angry and she split. You never saw her again. Isn't that how the story goes?
Yes.
I know all about that.
Excuse me a moment.
Sure.
Jesse, darling, do me a favor and go and see where Joey is, please. I mean, we can't really start supper until everybody's here, even if it is just a cold buffet.
It is?
Yeah.
That's weird. Don't you smell garlic? I'll go check.
Yes.
Problem?
I hope not. I mean, the smell of garlic in the air would indicate that Joey's in the kitchen. On the other hand, he may very well have made good on his threat and gone off to see his friends. Oh.
What about have friends right here?
Success.
Oh, I don't know. You'll have to try it first.
I'm sure it's as good as always.
Huh. Who is the man behind the bruschetta?
Joey, darling, may I introduce Dr. Mary Hayes?
Dr. Hayes.
Mary. The doctor part doesn't make house calls.
And believe it or not, this is her son, Mel Hayes, who's the newest Banner columnist. This is my son, Joey Buchanan.
It'll always be Mel for me.
Oh, I've heard a lot about you, sir.
Likewise, in glowing terms. I have the marvelous good fortune to call your folks and your brother Kevin not only employers and colleagues, but friends.
Oh, but Mel, you have so many friends.
I'd introduce you to my daughter, Dorothy, but you're clearly past that stage.
Oh, way past, actually. We met yesterday in the elevator.
Right, so, are we gonna eat this or are we gonna torture ourselves, huh?
Dig in, sweetheart. I'm right behind you.
Raphael? The Madonna?
You catch right on.
Yes, he cooks. Does he ever? Joey? From a long-time olive oil addict. Thank you.
Well, your granddaughter actually deserves the credit. She did most of the work.
No, I made most of the mess. You made the bruschetta. We won't forget to.
This from a woman in a hockey jersey.
Joey told me he would teach me how to make aquacata. And I can't wait to taste your antipasto.
I've tasted it.
You have?
Oh, yes. Many, many times. In fact, there were times when I could scarcely get enough.
All right. Just stop there.
It's not like anything's going on between me and Joey. I mean, he made it official when he sent the letter. You know, from Paris, that it was over, and it was over.
That's on paper. Is that the way it is in your heart?
You know, I shouldn't have said anything.
No, but the point is you did. And I sense that you're still carrying a torch for him, on some level. Is there any truth to that?
You know, when I saw my mother today, it made me think how alone I had been for most of my life, and how I didn't want to be. Joey and I were friends. When we first met, we were roommates.
And then it became more.
Much more. Because suddenly, I was no longer alone. Here was this great guy, you know, who accepted me and wanted to be with me every day.
Yeah, I think we all crave that sort of closeness.
Well, I didn't want to lose that closeness so bad that I pretended to be chic and sophisticated. So Joey would fall head over heels in love with me. I was a child.
Well, you've changed.
Well, after the year I had, anybody would change. I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? Even though I was an inexperienced goon, that didn't mean that I wasn't totally in love with Joey, despite all the trouble that Dorian gave us.
Ah, so Dorian didn't approve of you and Joey?
No. No, she had this jealousy thing, which I don't want to get into, but it made us tight. And that's why I was so blown away when he sent me that letter. It was so out of the blue.
It would seem that you're not really over it.
I don't know if anybody gets over that type of intensity.
Maybe not. Maybe the pain weaves its way into our lives and makes us stronger.
I take wiser instead. But now you know.
Yes, I understand. Truly. But don't expect me to give up on you.
I wouldn't want you to do that.
Oh. Excuse me. Hello? Yes? Oh, all right. Thank you. That was Dr. Angel. Melinda wants to see you.
Sure it is. Prime time, Wednesday.
Your mother left, too?
Yep.
What happened?
I woke up one morning, she was gone.
I know that one.
Yeah. Kept thinking it was my fault. That I wasn't worth sticking around for. But, you know, later I figured out that my adoptive father, Peter Manning, done a real number on my mom.
He was violent?
He was a bastard. She split the first chance she got.
Let me guess. He never forgave her.
No, she was the one who left. Left me behind with Peter the not so great.
Did he hurt you?
He disciplined me. He would stand over me, well, ready to beat me for whatever I did or didn't do. And I kept hearing the words over and over again in my head. He hates me. He hates me.
Did you ever see your mother again?
Yeah. One summer. I found out where she was hiding. She was in a little cabin by a stream in the woods. It took me 20 hours to hitch there from the camp that I was at.
How old were you?
10.
10 years old and you were hitchhiking by yourself?
And nobody would rent me a car. We spent 6 days together.
And you heard the whole story?
Oh, yeah, I heard all the stories. I like the one that she had been writing to me since the day that she had left, only my father had been hiding the letters.
Oh, my God. Well, at least you found out that it wasn't your fault. She did love you.
Yeah. A lot of good it did me. She chickened out and sent me back after 6 lousy days. But it's not all bad news. You know, I did get to watch Peter die.
You have to let go of this.
No. No, I'll never let go of this. Peter is my role model on how not to be a father, and I will never, ever treat Shorty the way that he treated me. It's going to be like night and day.
It already is.
She's never going to feel like she's a joke or a mistake or like she's dirt. Because I'm going to tell her how special she is. And that little girl is always going to know how much her father loves her.
It's another story we have in common.
What's that supposed to mean?
I feel this push in me to take all the pain I had as a kid and turn it into something really sweet for Star. Something safe.
Yeah?
Yeah. It all makes sense to me now. That day, the guy with the gun was here. He was ready to come after Star. And I was ready to die before I would let him come up those stairs.
You were great.
So are you. And for the same reason. You're not going to become your father, the tyrant. And I'm not going to become my mother, who'd abandon her little girl when the going got rough. We're on the same path together, Todd.
So that's what you think, huh?
Tell me, How have you managed to avoid a career in journalism? Newspaper work seems to be hardwired into your family's genes.
I guess I'm just a mutant.
What's next after your Italian sojourn?
I have the same question.
Well, I don't really have an answer to it, but I mean, I have the feeling that my hardwired family would like me to finish school.
You got that right.
Darling, that needn't be a hardship, especially if you can find some courses in art restoration.
Well, there's always journalism, right?
I need to check out the university myself.
I'd be glad to show you around campus sometime, if you want.
Sometime soon.
Real soon is when my trig homework's due, remember? You promised to help me?
I did. And, I will be right back.
Joey has made amazing progress.
Yes, we're very, very proud of him.
Just to think, restoring a priceless Renaissance fresco in Italy when just a handful of months ago he was painting houses here in Landview. Of course, that was before he moved in with me.
Well, I think we must all be hungry. Those of us who have not already indulged our appetites. So why don't we go into the dining room and we'll help ourselves from the buffet.
Hold it. A second. Am I losing my mind, or do I detect some sort of connection between Dorian and Joey Buchanan?
You might as well know the truth. God knows Dorian isn't keeping it under wraps. She and Joey were lovers.
America, Halloween.
Lovers?
Shh, Dorf.
The woman is easily twice Joey's age.
Not so easily.
How could they?
I don't know, and I don't want to know, honey. All we have to concern ourselves with, the affair is over.
Oh, it was just a wild, passionate fling, was it?
What's past is past. Let it stay there.
I mean, Joey also saw Dorian's niece, Kelly, right? Unless Miss Carpenter is giving me misinformation.
No, that's accurate.
I mean, what is the guy doing? Working his way through the Kramer family from top down?
That's not fair.
I just don't get it.
You don't have to get it, sweetie. They did what they did, period. Come on into dinner.
No, thank you. I've had enough to swallow already. In fact, I'm feeling kind of sick.
Am I right in assuming that Joey had an affair with Dorian?
I wish I could say no, but you are, as the saying goes, right on.
Interesting.
Oh, I hate that word.
Oh, I'm glad you told me. It's usually the lead-in to a quickie observation cum analysis, but I will restrain myself, though I have to admit it won't be easy.
You are about as direct as a kick in the pants. I like that.
Well, that's standard equipment in my line of work.
Speaking of your line of work, do you think that it would be possible or appropriate for me to, well, consult with you professionally?
Possible and appropriate.
And I would have complete confidentiality.
Without that, I wouldn't be a professional. When would be good for you?
I could call you in the morning and let you know.
Hey, where are you going? The laundromat?
Back to the palace. I don't feel very well.
Well, I was hoping we'd be able to catch a film over at the university after dinner.
Sorry, I'll make sure you get your shirt back.
Hey, did I miss something? Because when I went upstairs, Dorothy was all smiles. And now she's all gone.
I think she was a bit thrown by some family history she picked up.
Oh, that's great. Great, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Such drama.
Yes, completely unfathomable.
Oh, come on. I made a few harmless little double entendres, that's all.
Except your double entendre referred to your dalliance with Joey.
Everybody knows about it.
It was news to Dorothy, headline news.
Terribly out of date. What happened between Joe and me was over ages ago.
Oh, really? Then why dredge it up and hold it under my daughter's nose? Please don't tell me you're jealous of her.
You listen to me, Mel. You are always hammering at me how I should open up and talk about my past. Well, that's exactly what I did.
You know something? Sometimes I really don't get you. One minute you act with such wisdom and generosity, like inviting Melinda to Landview, and then you turn around and uncork a spiteful, petty shot like this. I'm working overtime trying to understand you, but sometimes, Dorian, you make it so damn hard I could spit.
Mother? Is something wrong?
Nothing.
Well, the doctor called and said you wanted to see me.
You've been to the beach, haven't you? Your hair is still damp.
Ian and I went for a swim.
Oh, you always did love the water. We would have so much catching up to do.
You mean if you came back with me to Landview? Have you been thinking about it?
All day. All day. We've lost so much time, you and I. I don't see how we can ever make up for it, but I'd like to try.
You would?
Yes. Oh, Kelly, I've missed you so much. So this time, when you leave and go back to Landview, I want to come with you.
What are you thinking about?
Well, life sucks and then you die. Well, it's true.
Beat it, Mr. Optimism.
Well, this is how you treat somebody you like. You know, I guess I should give you something on the plus side. That little chat we had felt pretty good. I mean, the subject sucked, but I kind of dug it. So I guess it's okay if you have to like me. It's all right.
Gee, thanks.
I'm going to warn you, though. That junk that I went through with Blair before we broke up.
Oh, the love junk?
Yeah, that was a King Kong-sized mistake, and I'll never make another one like it. Because I'll never be sucker enough to open up to somebody like that again. You got that?
Relax. I don't like you that much.
So get going. Out!
Gotcha.
Stay tuned.